Hey, what's up guys, this is John from Back on the Road DIY. Today we're going to be replacing the front passenger side lower ball joint on this Honda Accord 2008 EX Coupe. First thing we do is loosen up the lug nuts. Then I like to lift it up from the front so it lifts both wheels off the ground. And I use this right here. You see this notch like sticking out. That's where I place the jack and lift it up. Lower it onto the jacks and don't forget to check your wheels. Remove the wheel and here's where the fun starts. There's 3 10mm bolts we have to remove for the ABS sensor and for the brake line. So we're gonna go ahead and do that first. And I like to use this magnetic bolt to hold the screws so I don't lose them. So if you want, you could get one of these. I'll put the links in the description in case you want one. Here is the other one, and the last one is right under that one. Now we pull these lines to the back so they're not on our way. Now we go on this side for the brake line, and for this one we need a 12 mil. I'm sorry, I said 10 mil, but for this one it's a 12 mil. And I'm not using the electric ratchet because it will not fit because of the line, so I have to use one of these. And if you don't want to miss like the bolts loose them, what I do is I remove them, and in the hole I put it back on just loosely so I know which bolt goes in what spot, so I don't have a, at the end I don't have a mess. If you're not good at it, you could do this. For this Honda Accord, you need a 36 mil socket to remove the axle nut. Now you need a 17 mil to remove the tie rod. And let me show you the ball joint, how bad it looks. Look at that. You see how the rubber is all messed up? That's why we knew already it was the ball joint that was giving us the problem. We're going to have to remove the caliper. So that one use a 14 mil to remove the 2 slider pins. So remove that. And also have a bungee cord handy, because when we remove the caliper, we're going to use it to hold it in place so it doesn't put pressure on the brake line. I'm using the back of the hammer to remove the caliper, and hopefully this doesn't happen to you, because you see how that put pressure on the brake line. Now I just wrap it around the bungee cord and hang it on the suspension so there's no pressure on the brake line while we do the work. Now remove the brake pads and put them to the side. And like before, I put the 2 14 bolts in the slider pins so I don't lose them. Now let's get the tie rod out. Just a couple blows with the hammer and it will come right out. Here now we go to the bottom. We're gonna remove the ball joint nut, and it comes with the safety pins. Make sure you remove them first. Usually the ball joint comes with new ones, so you could, if you having problem removing them, you could just break them and then pull them. That's the easiest way. But if you can remove them just by pulling them, you could do that. And always, before you cut them, make sure you have new ones to replace them with. And once you get the cutter pin out, you're gonna need a 17 mil socket to remove this nut. And sorry guys, my camera started recording because I dropped it and didn't notice it wasn't recording. But I removed the bottom bolt. It's a 17 mil, and also the top bolt for the knuckle up here, right there, it's also a 17. Just use the impact wrench and took them out. Here now you're gonna grab a hammer and you're gonna hit it a couple times to get the upper knuckle, the upper ball joint loose, and you could remove it. Sorry guys, my camera skill sucks, so bear with me here. I'm trying to adjusting to show you what I just did, and it's right here. It is in, so I just hit it with the hammer right here a couple times and it just comes loose. And just put it to the side. And now with the same 17 mil bolt, we're gonna remove the caliper brackets, so it's easier to remove the axle nut. As you guys see here, I just took it out, put it to the side, and now the disc is gonna come right out. Put it to the side. Sometimes this disc comes with a screw. If yours has it, please make sure you remove it with a screwdriver. And now we have to remove the bottom ball joint, and I'm gonna show you a trick how. I'm going to reattach the upper ball joint. Just, you don't have to tighten it too hard, just put it in and just screw the nut, just couple threads. It just for it to hold it, because when we remove the bottom ball joint, this is gonna drop, so this is gonna hold it. Now we come back down here again, and we're gonna hit it with the hammer a couple times. And after we do that, it just to get, you know, everything loose, like any rust or everything, just to get everything loose. And now we're gonna grab our jack, and with the help of the jack, we're gonna lift it up, and it will come right out easily. Don't stress it too much. Put the jack, and that will help you out, because these things are hard to remove sometimes. So, and if you notice, the ball joint bolt is resting on the knuckle, so it's not like it didn't drop. And I'm doing that because now I'm gonna remove the top nut, the one I just put in to hold it. So, you know, it's easier, because if I let the ball go, it will put pressure, so it will be a little bit more difficult. So now look, it was just very easy to remove. Now with the help of a screwdriver, we're gonna remove this ring. Very careful, because we're gonna have to reuse it. So just apply pressure on the side little by little and just pry it out. Now to get the ball joint out, first you gotta remove the rubber boot, and in this case I'm just gonna rip it out because it looks so messed up. But if yours look good, you can remove the clip, like the little wire clip first, and then remove the boot, just because it might be good. But if you're replacing it anyway, it doesn't matter if you rip it off. Also, you're gonna need a ball joint press to put in the new ball joint, and also sometimes you could use it to remove the old ball joint, but in my case I remove it with a hammer. And this is the reason why I remove the whole thing, because it's so much easier to remove it like this, that if you have it installed in the car, there's not a lot of space to do this. And in this case, this one was pretty easy to remove, but sometimes these things are very hard and you're gonna have a bad time. Then if you just remove it and just hit it with the hammer, it will come out quickly. Now I just clean it with a paper towel. Some people like to use sandpaper if it's like a lot of rust in it, but there's no rust here, so I'm just gonna clean it with the microfiber paper towel, whatever, and get the new one and install it. Here is a new one. I'm just gonna check it. It looks the same. It comes with a new nut and a copper pin. Also has like a locking pin to hold this ball joint in place, because the other one didn't have the locking pin. So this one, I think this was better. And checking that everything fits the same. Now I'm gonna remove the wire that holds the boot to install it easier, because sometimes if you install it with the rubber boot, you might damage it. So it's always better to remove it. Here I'm just testing if it goes in, because sometimes they just go in real quick, because the rubber boots on some of these are like thinner, so it will go through the hole no problem, so you wouldn't have to remove it. In this one, if I try to press it, it's gonna break, so I'm gonna have to remove it. Here I'm using this kind of needle thingy that I used to pry out stuff. The way you remove this, once you grab one of the sides of the wire, is like, you know how you put the keys into your keychain? It's the same thing. You just open it and then you start going in circle, and it's gonna start like rolling out. As you see me right there, it's gonna roll out and then it comes out, and then you're gonna grab the rubber boot and twist it, and it's gonna come out, and there you go. And you put it in the same way. So now look, now you see how it go in? Now it's ready for the press. Sometimes it will go in all that much without removing the rubber boot, so you'll be good. But if it gets stuck when you're trying to put it in, take the rubber boot out, because you're gonna damage it. Here is a closer view of the cap that goes on top of the ball joint, because it puts pressure on the sides of the ball joint when pressing it. Here I'm just test fitting the cap that I'm gonna use to allow the ball joint to go in, because in this case the bigger cap with the ball joint all the way out will not fit, so I'm gonna have to use a smaller one, press it in a little bit, and then put the bigger one in. And you're gonna see here in a little bit. Here I'm putting it in a little bit, and once it goes in a couple inches, then I will remove this cap and switch it for the bigger one, and that will allow me to press it the rest of the way in, as you're gonna see right now. Just put it back in, align it, and then after this it's just easy, guys. Watch, just go all the way in. You could do it with a ratchet if you don't have an impact wrench, but if you have an impact wrench, it's gonna make your life so much easier. It's gonna be so much faster, but you don't need it. You could just use a ratchet, and if you have somebody to help you, an extra pair of hands will be very, very handy. And if you guys want, I can make a video on how to use the press if you're not sure yet. But it's very simple. Once you have it on your hands, you read it, it's very logical. So I'm pretty sure you'll get it. But if you want me to, leave a comment and I'll make a video about it. And this is how it should look when it's fully pressed. Now we're gonna use, I put the safety pin, and you could use some needle pliers, or I'll show you this cool little tool I have that you could get. I'll leave links in the description that's gonna help you with this. And this is the little tool I have. It helps you to remove these safety pins and also to put them in. I'll put a link in the description in case you want to get it. You don't need it, but it makes this job so much easier to have these little things. And then after that, you just slide in the rubber boot. Same thing, make sure it's all the way in. And when you're gonna put the safety pin, it's the same thing, the same way you took it out. Like, remember I said, like when you put the keys into your keychain, it's basically the same thing. Once you find one side, you start just working it in. And whatever thing you use to put this clip in, make sure you don't damage the rubber boot. Now this ring has a groove, as you see right there. You're gonna align it with the hole right there for the ABS, and the two openings in the bottom goes towards the ball joint. I know once you see the ring and you putting it on, it will make so much sense. Right here, it doesn't look very nice in the video, but once you have it, it will make sense, trust me. Then you just put it on, tap it in with the hammer till it's flush. And basically, guys, we are done. Now we're gonna start putting everything back on. As we took it out, we started putting the axle inside the knuckle and the bottom ball joint at the same time in the knuckle. As you guys see, you saw right there, I put the ball joint first, and then I slide in the axle nut, and then you just push everything in, and it's just gonna fall in place. Now we put in the top one, just align it and push it down until it goes in the hole, and you start screwing in the nut. Now that I put the nut, I'm trying to tighten it up, but it's spinning, the whole thing is spinning. So here's when using the jack is very helpful. We're gonna use this jack a lot for this, because a lot of these screws or bolts, they always spin when you're trying to tighten them. So we're gonna use the jack a lot, and it's just a matter of aligning it right there and just jack it up, and you guys see how the whole thing goes up. So that's gonna create like good friction up there, and it's gonna be easier now to tighten the nut. Now I'm gonna use this ratchet, this electric ratchet, just to do it faster and easier. If you have one of these, man, this makes life so much easier, but you don't need it, as I always say. Then you see that now it's tightened, and now we're gonna torque to 35 foot-pounds. Hear the click, we good. Now for the bottom ball joint, we do the same thing. We have to use the jack, so because it was spinning, and now put the nut back on, and this one gets torqued to 43 foot-pounds. And wait for the click again, and we good. And don't forget to put the new copper pin. Just put it in the hole and just open it up on this side. This is just to prevent the bolt from getting loose. Now we continue with the tie rod, right to the left, and we put it on, put the nut, and this one gets torqued to 32 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna put the axle nut. Remember, this is a 36 mil socket for this, and when you put it, you're gonna torque it to 181 foot-pounds. And at the end, remember to hammer down the edge. Is gonna have like an edge right there that you can hammer down so it doesn't come off loose. This one I didn't show that because this one, it was broken, so there's no way, there's nothing to hammer in. You have to actually get a new one. To be able to torque it, you're gonna have to put the disc, the brake caliper, and the brakes. To have somebody inside the car press the brake while we torque the nut. That's the way I do it. Now we put the disc back, and remember, if yours has the screw, make sure you put it on. Clean it with brake fluid all around it. Now we put the caliper bracket, and remember these two bolts over here, they're supposed to come with a washer. This car didn't have the washer, so just in case you have it, you put your washers on, but in this case doesn't have it. We put the two bolts, and they get torqued down to 80 foot-pounds. And like I said, guys, if you can get yourself one of these electric ratchets, it makes the job so much faster. And this is a 17 mil socket, and they get torqued down to 80 foot-pounds, top and bottom. And after cleaning everything with brake fluid again, reattach your brake pads. And now get your caliper, remove your bungee cord, and we put it back on. And these ones have the 14 millimeter socket, and they're gonna get torqued to 27 foot-pounds. Now we put the 12 mil bolt for the brake line. Remember, we're gonna put it down, and if you want to torque this down, it's 7.2 foot-pounds. I just get it snug. I think that's enough, but if you want to torque it down, it's 7.2. Same thing for the ones on this side. These are the 10 mil. I just put them up and snug them till they fit tight, but if you want to torque them down, it's 7.2 foot-pounds. And this is the last one of those, also 10 mil. Just snug it up. And this is a digital torque wrench that you attach to a breaker bar, because the other torque wrench I have doesn't go to 181, and I'm here setting it up to 181 while I have my wife in the car pressing the brake to help me keep the disc still while I torque it. And here I go. You're gonna hear the sound. That means it's torqued to 181. And my wife was inside the car pressing the brake while I was doing this. And now we are basically done. I'm just putting the wheel back on. Guys, if you like this content, make sure you subscribe, like, leave any comments if it was helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave any comments. I'll try to answer. And just help me out. And don't forget to subscribe and, like it, share it, so we can grow this channel. Here, put the wheels on. And just put the lug nuts back on. Then I gotta lower the car and torque them down to 80 foot-pounds, and that should be it. And torque them down to 80 foot-pounds in a start-like pattern. It's like, you always skip one lug nut and go to the other one, like you're making a star, so it gets tightened evenly.